Yo guys, what's up? Jay Jones here with Eat to Fight, going over some nutrition stuff today. Specifically, the number one thing that you're probably not doing if you want to get the most benefit out of your nutrition for your BJJ training. And that is tracking your meals. I don't know why, but for 90% of people, tracking your meals is a really hard task. And everybody has a really different reason. Maybe it's a really good reason for you. But the truth is, if you're not tracking your food, you're not aware of what you're eating. And if you're not aware of what you're eating, there's probably some patterns that you're going through every day, every week, every month that are really holding you back from being able to reach your goals. So I asked this question in my Facebook group yesterday, and I got a few different responses. I've heard some different responses through my experiences. I'm gonna try to address all those today, right? So one thing to think about is that a lot of people think that you're either on a diet or you're off a diet. And this is not true. You're always on a diet, okay? Anything that you eat is your diet. So sometimes you're on a good diet that you feel good about and is working towards your goals, and sometimes you're not on a good diet that's not working towards your goals. But it doesn't mean you're off diet. If you are off diet, it means you're not eating. And if you're not eating, you may lose a little weight, which may or may not be your goal, but then you're gonna die. So it's not really gonna help you out that much, right? So just knowing that you're always on a diet. And if you're always on a diet, that means that you always choose to eat. And so anytime that you choose to eat, you're gonna open your mouth and you're gonna put something in your mouth. And just as easy as it is to put something in your mouth, it's as easy to write that thing down, to grab your phone and plug it into an app or whatever it is and track your food. It's just not something that you're used to. Anybody can make this happen, okay? So one thing that I heard or that I've heard before is people say, I forget to eat. I just forget. Okay, we can see that. We get busy during the day. Maybe you purposefully fast in the morning or you just don't have time. You find if you drink some coffee and enough water throughout the day that you are gonna make it until nighttime without eating. You just forget to eat. And after you do that for a while, it becomes that pattern. And then there you are, only eating once a day. And what happens is that you're really hungry by the end of the day and you're probably not making the best choices, or maybe they are good choices, but you just simply can't eat enough in one sitting to fill your goals, right? But you are remembering to eat. You're not forgetting. And so by simply telling me, I keep forgetting, you already know what the problem is. You keep forgetting. So without even tracking, we are already aware of the situation and you can start fix it. But by tracking, it puts a big highlight on it. It puts it right there in front of your face. Hey, you need to eat more throughout the day. You need to eat probably 3 times a day. How are we gonna do that? And then simply making a protein shake and a sandwich and taking it to work with you is better than not doing it at all, right? It doesn't have to be a perfect balanced macro meal if that's your goal, but we don't know until you track. So that's why tracking is very important. Another thing that goes along with this is maybe you're not tracking because you know what you should be doing and you're not doing it, right? You know that what you should be doing, or maybe you're doing things that you should not do and you don't want to write them down. So again, you already know the problem, you're just not addressing it. And what does tracking do? It holds us accountable. Nobody has to check it. Only you have to check it. Only you have to write it down. And if you write it down, then you know what your problem is. You probably already know what these patterns are, but by writing it down, it's right there in front of your face, all right? A very common one, and this one is actually very valid. I used to track, but I don't anymore because I feel I don't have to. Yes, if you're there. And when you are there, you can take that tool and pull it out of your toolbox when maybe you went on vacation, or maybe it's like Christmas time and you've gotten off track for a couple weeks and you know it's time to dial things back in. You just pull that tool out, you start tracking it back in, you dial it, and then you're back to normal. That's good. But just like jujitsu, there's a 10,000 rep rule. You have to get 10,000 reps before it becomes instinct, before it feels natural, right? So until you've actually logged 10,000 chicken breasts or 10,000 acai bowls or whatever it is that you're doing, you probably don't know the exact macros, calories, size, portions, and things that you need. You haven't built that habit to knowing that this handful of rice makes me feel this way before training, or this handful of chicken breast makes me feel full for this amount of hours. And those are the kind of tools that you'll pick up when you're tracking regularly, okay? And some people just say it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, just like I said in the beginning, it's one extra step. It's just a slight more pain in the ass than actually putting something in your mouth. So it's really not. And that's probably just saying that you don't want to do it. But you have a goal. If you have a goal and you want to reach it, you have to get uncomfortable slightly in order to achieve something. And if that means you have to write down your food, I don't feel sorry for you. Get through it, track your food. It doesn't matter if it's a pain in the ass, right? And then here's another one. I don't want to lose weight. A lot of times tracking your calories is perceived as a thing to lose weight. You know, we're jiu-jitsu athletes. Unless you're trying to make it to a specific weight class, you know, weight loss is not usually one of the biggest goals for BJJ athletes, right? Like, again, unless it's for a specific weight class. So what if your goal is to get stronger? What if your goal is, I feel like shit every day at practice and I can't recover? What if your goal is, I only sleep 4 hours a night? All of those can be somewhat addressed through nutrition, but you can't address your nutrition until you know where you currently are. And so again, that's all of these questions come back to the same thing, is you got to know where you are. You need to highlight it. You probably know what your weaknesses and your patterns are, but you need to highlight it for yourself, hold yourself accountable. And the only way to really do that is by tracking your food. MyFitnessPal is free. It's been around for a long time. Millions of people have used it. They got a huge database. There's other ones. There's other apps. There's other services. There's coaches that'll do it for you. You can write it down in a book, whatever that is easiest for you. But MyFitnessPal is free. It's easy. You can take a picture of the barcode. You can look up anything. You can look up raw food or already cooked food. You can look up any restaurant. So really, it kind of takes care of the I don't have time, it's a pain in the ass, all that stuff, because you can just do it right then. And the last thing, if you are going to go through this, like I challenge you to do it for 3 months. If you are going to go through it, don't wait till the end of the day. Don't pre-feel out your meals, right? And then try to follow that. Just every time you eat, record it. That's really all you got to do. And by being mindful, you're going to start noticing, do you need more calories, less calories, more protein, more carbs, more fat? Do you need more consistency? Do you need better timing? All those can be addressed by simply recording all of your food in a food journal. All right, guys. Jay Jones, Eat to Fight. That's all I got for y'all. Catch you next time.